I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown, because those dear...
The Deadpool movie was one of those weird success stories in Hollywood. Not only was it a low-budget action hero film, it was also a low-budget action hero film going for a more mature audience than its counterparts, the Avengers and the rest of the Marvel lineup. Granted, it had the all-star cast of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and really, that's all you need to know. The film, of course, was a breakout success. But can a new film keep up with its predecessor? The answer? Yes and no. Let's start with the good stuff. But beforehand, I'm just going to post a quick spoiler warning over this one. Although I'm not really going to go over the story too much, mostly because I'm assuming that you've seen it at this point, seeing how it's been out for more than a month at this point. Granted, I know you probably have more important things to do than watching some guy in a red suit just cut people up and shoot people. Yeah, I mean, that's most movies at this point. But if you're one of those people who wait until digital release for films because you don't want to have to pay $40 every single time you go to the theater because it costs so much money for tickets and buying concessions at this point that it may well as be daylight robbery. That's what it is. If you're one of those people that buys digital, there will be spoilers in this film, so just cover your ears whenever I say something about spoilers. Alright? Alright. On to the film. Deadpool 2 was one of those sequels that seemed to be made only because the box office did well. I know that seems pretty obvious, but let me explain my thinking. Basically, one of the executives saw that Deadpool was doing well and said, hey, why don't we just give them another film to do? That'll totally rake in more money, right guys? Like, I'm sure the studio had a lot of passion behind it, but it just does feel a bit more cookie cutter? Yeah, let's go with that. It feels a little bit more cookie cutter than before. Although it still does have that Deadpool feel where it does feel like it's taking the piss out of pretty much everything Marvel's done, and Fox has done. I guess Marvel did that too. Technically. But hey, it's still Deadpool, the lovable asshole that we all know and love. Although this time he's a bit more morally ambiguous, which honestly Deadpool should be. I mean, in the comics, he's kind of just this mercenary character rather than the guy who just kills the bad guys. Although I guess in movies you gotta be a little bit less morally ambiguous given Hollywood's death grip on the whole genre. Although Deadpool is a bit more suicidal at this point. Oh yeah, Deadpool's completely gone full suicidal like he does in the comics, mostly because his wife died. Oh yeah, that's your first spoiler warning, by the way. 15 minutes into the movie, his wife dies. There goes all the happy moments in that first movie. And like I said, it does feel a bit more cookie cutter. There's a lot more lighthearted moments than the original movie. There's a few moments of somberness, and there's a few touching moments, but then they immediately get ruined by the main character. Mostly due to the fact that he's insane and also is sort of a wisecracking asshole. Yeah. There's a nice balance, in my opinion, of quiet scenes and louder scenes, though, in my own opinion. Although, like most movies Marvel has made nowadays, it drags on for far too long. I know I've complained about characterization before, how films don't do enough of it, but there is such a thing as too much characterization. Namely, the film sets up characters that just die as part of a throwaway joke for the rest of the movie. It feels awkward. Oh yeah, all those characters in the trailer, they all die. Spoiler number 2, ladies and gentlemen. On the other hand, we get to see a whole bunch of Cable, and he doesn't get a lot of said characterization. Granted, he's the most generic, grizzled soldier type that you'll ever frickin' see in your entire life. He's a grizzled ex-soldier who lost his family and has to travel back in time, and halfway through that small sentence, people already fell asleep, so I'll move on. Domino makes her debut from the comics and is an excellent character, and while I liked her old design, the movie design works well for this film as well. The only thing I didn't like was Russell. He's a little bit of an asshole. Understandably so, but in the beginning of the film, he just feels like a... How do I put this? You know the character from Indiana Jones, the second movie, that basically no one really remembers, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying that, but whatever. Short Round? Short Round. Yeah, he feels like Short Round. And now everyone who's watched that film knows what I'm talking about, and people who haven't, well, don't know. Just go watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. He gets redeemed eventually, but still, at this point I'm just nitpicking, so I'll wrap this up real quick. The film is good, the fights are great, and the movie retains the comedy of the first film. If I did have to give it a score, I'd give it a B+. It's a great movie. Alright? that concludes this review. Thank you very much for listening. Hi guys, I know I normally don't ask for this kind of stuff, but if anyone ever wants to leave a comment or like the video, that'd be great. And subscribe if you want to hear more of me talking about stupid stuff like movies and video games and stuff like that. I also occasionally make other kinds of videos, so subscribe if you want to see more. Have a wonderful day.